What's up, guys? That Really Gross Guy here, and we are back playing Warframe, and we're going to talk about Devstream 92 today. There was a bit that happened this last few days, and a lot that's kind of been hinted at. Well, not too much that's been hinted at in the Devstream, but enough to warrant a video. So we're going to talk about that, and I'm going to try and be a little bit quicker with this video than I usually do on my Devstream videos, just because, for time's sakes. I know that the Devstream has already been covered, probably on YouTube quite a few times at this point, but I figured I'd give my input, just kind of go over some things and give you my thoughts and get on with it. But anyways, I always do want to let you guys know what my build is, what my thing is, or whatever before I get too involved into a video. So without further ado, this is one of my new Oberon builds, and this is not geared for any endgame type stuff. I literally decided to try and gear an Oberon as a healer in a few different fashions. First off, his ability itself, his third ability, the renewal, will be pretty much key in his healing ability. Same with is it the Phoenix renewal, or I think that's what it's called, will revive enemies if they take lethal damage while renewal is active. And then on top of that, my Furus is going to help my life stay up with its lifesteal, because of its lifesteal. I forgot, it's like lasting purity, I think is what it's called. And then lastly, I brought the Sancti Magistar because its charged melee damage or whatever sends out a healing wave to nearby enemies. So that's always an option. But like I said, it's literally not meant for endgame content. If I get it modded appropriately, it may be a really good frame to run with a team, but currently it is level 15, as you just saw pop up on the screen, and it's far from endgame material for sure. But anyways, getting into the Devstream stuff, we are going to start off by the two missions that were recently given to us through the Devstream, and one of those being, well, that we're kind of notified of in the Devstream. One actually came up shortly before the Devstream went up, so I think it was the day before. So, but one of those missions was on PC. We got the oh, what's the thing's name? It's not the Jackal. It's not the Harvester. It wasn't called the Harvester, was it? But it was one of the giant quadruped units. It starts with an A. I'm an idiot. I can't believe I forgot. Give me a second. I have to make sure you guys know. Make sure you guys know what it is called. It is called the Razorback Armada. So, for whatever reason, the A made me think it started with an A, but the Razorback Armada was the mission, and that was to fight the Razorback. That happened on PC because of our the missions where you side with the Grineer or the Corpus, and you eventually earn kind of like a reputation, I guess, and then you fight a thing. I did not do a single mission of that myself because I heard that you had to do Archwing to do it, and I can't stand Archwing at the moment because it honestly makes me motion sick. I like I like the old Archwing. I wish we had the old Archwing back. I know they're working on it, but it's kind of just strange to see a system in the game that the developers know is pretty pretty broken and relatively negative to become a pretty significant event. It wasn't all that significant for players that had the rewards already for doing the event, but all of those people that do not had to go through kind of a pretty grueling process to get, I think they were Wraith or Vandal, Wraith, I don't know. There's some sort of parts for you know, the Karak Wraith, I believe, or not the Karak, the Volkar Wraith and something else. But anyways, I just thought it wasn't for me. I already have the rewards. I didn't care much for it. There might be a reward in there that I don't know of, but I honestly didn't feel like doing it. Just gonna be completely honest. But the other mission that went up is the design council had this mission where there was like tons of nullifiers and other units attacking a defense point, and your job was to defend. And I did that mission with 3 other players in my clan on the first try, and that's not necessarily, I'm not saying that to gloat, I'm saying that to make a point here in just a moment. But it was kind of fun. I don't think it was all that it had 3 Nightane extracts, so that was pretty it was fairly rewarding for those who needed it. But I did it just for the sake of the challenge. And it wasn't all that bad. And with that being said, I want to just slightly talk about a point that I tend to see in the game, in chat and stuff, in Warframe quite often, is I see a lot of people like people are struggling. You know, I know there's a lot of people out there to help people like that, and I've done it many times myself, and I see it a lot. But I also see a lot someone say, hey, can anyone help me with this new, you know, blah 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 mission? And then they get like 5 responses of people being like, that's so easy, I did it my first try, that's so blah 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 blah. You shouldn't be that difficult, blah blah blah. I understand giving someone help, being like, hey, if you use a, you know, a Trinity or a Mirage or whatever, if you have advice like that, that's good advice. That's, you know, some good fun advice. But when you say, did it first try, it's easy, just get good, it's like, I don't know, it's stupid. Anyways, I ended up the one guy that was like, he got no response other than like just hate, like, oh, it's so easy, you suck, blah blah blah, get good. I think that's what someone said. It's like, you suck, get good. And I was like, I know you're just trolling, but like, come on guys, chill, like, really? But I ended up sending him a message, and I was like, you know, they say it's easy. Honestly, it's not the hardest thing to do in the game, but it's definitely not something you want to go into without preparation. I said, honestly, if you get 3 other players in there that know what they're doing and you guys have good synergy, the mission isn't, you know, you'll be able to pull through the mission probably without too much trouble. Or, to be honest, if you find 1 or 2 you know, god build players, you can probably cheese the mission if you wanted to. But yeah, I ended up asking him later on if he managed to get through it, and sure enough, he did. He said he just went into the recruiting tab and found a couple guys. So yeah, it wasn't so bad. In my opinion, that mission wasn't all that difficult. But when people say easy, I'm expecting Mastery Rank 5, You know, people mastery rank 5 to be able to do it. You know what I mean? Just because it was easy for you doesn't necessarily mean that you have to tell everybody to get good and, you know, I don't know. It's just one of the stupidest things I see in the gaming community, and not necessarily Warframe itself, but it's just, I don't know. I feel like among gamers, there are, like, we almost give ourselves bad names, and that sounds terrible because I don't know. It's like I don't know. I'm just gonna get off the topic. Anyways, so there's all that. There was also the ambulance event, which ended. I honestly got a little sick of the grind, so I pretty quickly just decided to cut my losses, and I had I think I got 6 of the mods I wanted. Wait, I think I only missed one. And honestly, I don't know. I haven't used any of them yet. I know that I want to try and use a couple of them, but I don't know. That event took a little bit out of me. It's been a minute since I uploaded Warframe, and I'm sorry about that, guys. It's just I've been trying to do my best to kind of get away from the grind of this game, and because I'm playing like 3 or 4 games, and then when you have to turn off a game that you're having a blast with to go grind in Warframe. Sorry, Warframe, I love you and all, but it kind of sucks. I would love to see the developers kind of work in some moments of relief in the game where it's like, oh, new event. Let me get into another mission. But new event just came out, and it requires you to grind for this or that, and there's already enough grinding in the game. But let's say a new weapon comes out, you're expecting to run maybe 10 to 15 different matches in order to get this thing. It would be good if the next thing to come along shortly after that in the update is something that we can acquire pretty easily. Something that is given to us at the end of a mission. You know what I mean? Kind of like some of the... I forgot if it wasn't a Naros. It was like some of the other Warframe quests where you beat one mission, it gives you a chassis, and you beat another mission, it gives you the systems. You beat another one, it gives you the helmet or the neuro-optics, whatever, and then you beat the last one, it gives you the blueprint. Those are the ones that are like, awesome. I did a thing, I enjoyed a thing, I don't gotta work that hard in you know, farming this thing up. If they would offset the grind with those things, and then, you know, it would be great, because I'm already farming for ducats. I'm already trying to get Void Traces some more. I'm already trying to get Valkyr and Banshee. I'm trying to get, luckily, I have most of the stuff, because I got it as soon as I could, but there's a lot of people out there, newer players especially, that are trying to get a lot of stuff, and it's just, you know, it can get overwhelming a little fast. But I don't know. Anyways, with that all said, I just would like to see a little bit, I don't want to say things handed to us. I mean, I want to work for my stuff. I'm okay with challenging missions. I just don't want that RNG, because RNG is never on my side. Anywho. There was an Umbra outbreak recently of people... supposedly, like, I don't know if it was a leak. I didn't hear anything about it other than the fact that it was on the Devstream. That supposedly some information supposedly got out about Umbra, or maybe it was just faked or something. I don't know. But they're saying to completely ignore those, because it's misinformation. It even appeared as though that whatever this person is saying is far from the truth, but you never know. They could be trying to cover their tracks. But anyways, I've just heard so much negativity when it comes to Umbra in the fan base, and I get why some people are a little frustrated that it's like we have no information about it up to this point. I want to remind you guys that like DE doesn't want to put anything out that is broken or that doesn't work, and I know they want to push a lot of lore behind Umbra in the future. And I also heard that one of the guys that I hired on, I forgot what old games that he worked on. Like, I want to say this guy worked on like Horizon or something really, really crazy. Supposedly he worked on a really cool game, and they're excited to have him on because he is going to be in charge of doing a lot of lore-driven game stuff, and I'm sure he is probably working pretty hard on Umbra, you know, as we speak. But I don't know. I feel like people are upset for no good reason. I feel like the reason why DE has mentioned Umbra and mentioned that it's coming and all of that stuff is because the Chinese iteration of Umbra is already out. It was their limited access or whatever to the game. And the fact that it's out there and people are going to find out about it, DE had to say something. Because if DE was just pretending that they don't know anything about it and we're trying to keep it a secret, would be absolutely stupid, because it is a thing in the Chinese version of Warframe. So they mentioned it way back when it came out in that version, and they said we're going to eventually get it, and people got their hopes up that it was going to be right around the corner, and it wasn't. So I just want to say that it's a thing. Don't get your don't be too upset. Don't be too frustrated by it not coming out soon. I understand you guys want to see it. I absolutely want to see it. But at the same time, I also want some good lore in this game, because there's just so much that we don't know about. I know some people don't give a crap about lore, but me personally, I want to play a mission that I am enthusiastic about playing. I don't want to jump into a mobile defense and be on terminals and have no idea why I'm why I'm hacking data. I don't want to have, a Warframe come out and it's just like Harrow, which we're going to talk about here in a minute. I don't want Harrow to come out and they just go, yeah, this is a priest beacon or deacon based frame. That's all you need to know. It's like, oh, come on, where's the juicy information? You know what I mean? And just imagine, there being no information tied to the Umbra frames. I already wish there was more information tied to the Prime frames, but, I mean, we don't know too much about that, necessarily. But, I don't know. Anyways. Alright, so Harrow, we might as well talk about him, seeing as I just mentioned him. We've seen his abilities, and I am pretty excited about Harrow. They have kind of confirmed that he does work with shields to a degree. His passive, it sounds like they said, is literally double the overshield capacity. So I'm assuming if you can push him up to like 600 overshields, I can expect him to have easily, or 600 shields, I can expect him to easily have like, I don't know, maybe 1,200 to 1,600 overshields, or total overshield. Like I said, I don't know what he's going to max out at. So, he's probably going to have a lot. I would love to see him have, like, Inaro-sized health pool, but instead into shields. That would be kind of cool. But his first ability is kind of a stun ability, which I'm pretty excited about, leaving him open for headshots, which synergizes with his third ability, which we'll get to. But it is going to allow you to obtain more shields for all the enemies you shoot, which is awesome. I'm going to mention his third ability first, just because let's talk about the synergy. His third ability allows you to spawn a spectral thurible, and I think that's the thing that he swings around. I guess it's like in like I guess the Catholic religion, maybe other religions. It's that like smoky lantern thing. I could be wrong. Could be wrong. I don't know anything about the Catholic religion. Anyways, but he like swings that around, and it grants him energy for every time you get a headshot on an enemy. So that works really good with his first ability because the enemies are stunned. It gives... Oh, wait. Yeah. Just energy for every headshot kill, but it also drains a little bit of energy while you're using it. So you kind of have to make your time count so you don't drain your energy too fast. Which, I don't know. It sounds good. Sounds good to me. I don't know. His second ability... sacrifices shields, gaining a buff with the more shields that you sacrifice. So I'm assuming if you sacrifice 200 shields, it's going to give you a smaller percentage than if you cast 600, 1,000 shield, whatever. But it says that in exchange for reload and fire rate buffs. Now, I'm going to be honest, those are two buffs that I don't really care all that much for. Fire rate is okay, reload, you know, it's whatever, depending on what weapon I'm using. But what I wanted to see, honestly, was, like, stat, like, either like, damage increases. I know that we just got Warframe, so I don't expect status, or, like, damage increases. But I thought it would have been cool if he had a way of, like, removing status effects, or maybe resistances to status effects, or maybe even giving extra status effects to allies or something like that as his kind of his buffs. But I don't know, I guess fire rate and reload is good. I don't know, whatever. But it sounds good. And then lastly on his second ability is while active, it will also heal allies in the affinity range, so within a pretty decent radius, for a percentage of the damage dealt. So the damage that you deal when his second ability is active will heal your allies, which is pretty cool. I like that little tidbit of it. But that seems like that is really the only version of him that is team-oriented. And I thought that the type of frame that he appears to be would be more team-based. I was expecting more team buffs and stuff like that, but it doesn't sound like it all that much. I don't know. And then lastly will be casting makes you invulnerable. This is his fourth ability. Casting makes you invulnerable for a short duration. Once invulnerability ends, you will gain additional critical chance on headshots. Okay. So, that doesn't sound all that fantastic. It sounds kind of situational. There is a second part to that ability. Just give me 1 second. Can you not, Mr. Bombard? Let's see. More damage. Wait. Hold on. The more damage prevented in the first phase, the larger the damage bonus will be. Okay. Oh, so this first phase is an invulnerability phase, which is good. I thought it was only going to be like a 3-second phase, but it must be a relatively lengthy phase, because his second phase after the invulnerability ends is when the critical damage goes up, or the damage bonus goes. I don't know. I'm a little confused by that, but It doesn't sound good. It doesn't, in my opinion, it doesn't sound all that great. I mean, damage bonus is always a good thing, but like I said, it sounds like you kind of got to work for it, and it doesn't sound like it's going to work in every situation. But it does sound like, because it's talking about critical headshot damage, that's going to sync well once again with his first ability. So I'm glad to see that his abilities work pretty well, and his first ability, in my opinion, my opinion, sounds pretty good. So I am pretty stoked about his stun ability for sure, and probably at least his first and third. His second sounds okay, and his fourth sounds, you know, like I said, a little situational. But I mean, I could see using all four abilities on him, but I don't know. That's just my opinion. I'm gonna have to scroll down, check out some of the other stuff. Okay, Nox. Nox is a new enemy that we will be seeing from the Grineer, and he is like a chemical warfare type Grineer. His face is I'll have a picture up, but his face is like melting. His flesh is melting off his face, and I'm sure the Grineer, being the fact that it's like they're just nothing but clones, and they're tools for the queens and whatever they want to do and blah blah blah. It's almost like they don't care about, you know, this is just, I don't know, an unfortunate side effect that's worth creating these units, I guess. So it's a little bit gruesome, but it's kind of cool. And then his weapon, I will have a picture up of that, and this, I'm assuming, is going to be tied to that chemical warfare aspect of this unit. And I'm pretty sure we're eventually going to get access to this weapon. I'm assuming it's going to be through the Grineer dojo, whatever. And there's probably going to be a research that we end up farming in order to get this or something. But it sounds cool. It's another weapon in the works, which there are plenty going through the build phase right now. But I don't know. I'm excited about it. It's something very different, and I like it. But can you not, Mr. Bombard, or not Bombard? I don't know what the hell you're called. Heavy Gunner. And then okay, multiplayer Captura is going to be a thing. I think that's really cool, and I think they're going to get some really cool Captura shots using that, but I don't know how much I'm going to use it. I don't know how much people are going to use it in general, but I'm sure some clannies are going to get together and decide to go out and do some of this, and I think that's pretty cool. I mean, more power to them. But I don't know. I don't think it's going to be utilized by a majority of the Warframe community, but I feel like it is a good addition. So I don't hate on it for sure. Oh, chat filters. Chat filters are going to become a thing. They kind of showed how the chat filters work, and that's the filter that I was saying about trade chat, which I think is really, really good. It's actually a great thing for Warframe. But it's not going to apply just to chat, which is going to be great, because I didn't think about it, but like the recruiting tab, if you are looking for maybe some void runs or relics, relic type things, you just, type in the keyword relic and do that. I don't know, it'd be cool. And also, you can also get rid of, so if you typed in relic and you wanted to relic farm, you could also choose to opt out of like specific relics, like, I don't know, C1, B1, I don't know, V5, whatever. But you can opt out of them as well. So it's not just searching for specific terms, it's also going to scrap other terms that are tied to that first term, if that makes any sense. But that'll work good in trading and recruiting, I think. And I mean, I don't know what the uses in the other chat modes are, but I'm sure there's going to be some. But yeah. Oh boy. Webcomic. Okay, so the webcomic is about to become a thing, and it looks like it's going to be tied to Harrow, whatever. So that's exciting. I'm hoping we're going to get some really cool lore out of this quest, because I feel like this is a good opportunity to show, like, a deep, dark aspect of, like, what a Warframe is, or what the Tennos are, what they have to do. I have a snapshot of the little webcomic for you guys, and it looks like this is from the Zariman, which is what the Tenno were on, and maybe we're gonna get some lore tied to the Tenno and how the Tenno became Tenno, if that makes any sense. And maybe we'll get some more lore about Warframe itself, but that would be exciting. I definitely want to see that. That's absolutely something I am excited to find out about in Warframe. So, so yeah, and there you can also, in the update, whenever the update comes out, start to color your Cyandanas separately from your other attachments on your frame. And I think that's pretty cool, because a lot of attachments will have a different texture, such as like a metallic or a fabric or like a leathery texture, and then your Cyandanas will have completely different textures. And you put like a dark red on your attachments, and it's shimmery on your Cyandana will look bland, and one will look more maroon and one will look more, you know, whatever, or whatever color, you know what I mean? So I'm excited about that, because there are quite a few frames that I don't use Cyandanas with, because Cyandanas and attachments with each other, because the textures are off, and I wish I could do something else about that, and that will help being able to color them differently. I mean, it doesn't solve everything, but it does definitely make it better, for sure. But, oh, the melee and gun thing. The melee and gun thing I think is pretty cool. I'm not super excited about it, but it will change up the gameplay a little bit, and that helps kind of the, I don't know, it helps change things up. It helps you kind of have a slight alteration to your playstyle, and I think that's cool. I'm going to try and utilize it, at least on one frame, as like its primary role is to like do like a melee secondary combination or something like that. I think that'd be fun. Let's see. Let me boop and boom. So, oh my gosh. All right, I'm just gonna take some damage till I boom, 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 boom. All right, Mag Deluxe is still being worked on, but it's probably, well, they said it's not gonna be released this month, which is unfortunate. I'm kind of eager for the Deluxe skins. I think they're really cool. I love how Mag Deluxe was recently shown, and Zephyr's freaking been shown ages ago, but we're somehow getting Mag first, and this is probably the most recent skin we've seen. But anyways, unless I'm forgetting the first iteration of the Mag's Deluxe skin, and but I'm pretty sure they showed Embers and Zephyrs way before they showed Mags. They are considering a alternate A, B, and C option for the operator itself, so that's pretty cool. I don't know. I think that's a good change. I may not necessarily use it anytime soon, but I feel like it's a good change that should happen. And then, let's see. The Prisma hiatus, they were talking about the Prismas, so Prismas are coming back a little bit. They wanted to make sure that they weren't just revisiting the same weapon over and over again and tweaking it to make it slightly different. I am kind of excited for more variation in our weapons, and it kind of stinks to see like what is it, 3 different Rakta Cerenoses? I mean, I get that there's, to a degree, all different, but I don't know. I want to see something new. Like, like the Daikyu was, even though I really don't care much for it. I like to see those kind of changes, you know. And then universal vacuum. Yeah, they're thinking about a companion thing. You know what? I don't think companions need a loot pickup type thing. To me, sentinels are used for a specific reason, and the idea of making your Kavats also have some sort of vacuum thing makes it less unique to use any other thing. Just like people were using the carrier specifically for his vacuum, I felt like, I mean, I get it because no one else was using Death Cube and all the other Sentinels, so I kind of get there had to be a change. But if your companion's gonna do what your Sentinels do, no one will ever use a Sentinel again. I don't know. I feel like they all have their own uses, and you have to decide what you'd rather have. Is the versatility and damage dealing or whatever of your Kavats, depending on how you have it spec'd, or the utility of the Sentinels. You gotta choose, you know what I mean? Same reason why, should I pick a Rhino for his tankiness, or should I pick a Mag or a Volt or whatever for its skill and whatever, tactical type gameplay? You gotta make a decision. That's how I feel about the Sentinel thing. But MOA companions, I think that's gonna be awesome. I'm excited about that. Melee ribbons and lore tied to ribbons would be, I guess, is going to become a thing, which is kind of cool. What else? Remote observer is going to see a change, obviously, because we have like capture mode now. And I guess that's pretty much about it. There's a little bit of casting and, or not casting, bug fixes and other stuff like that happened with like PC and stuff, but that's all stuff that I don't know. I don't delve too much into those little analytics and stat changes. So, if you guys are interested in that, I'm sure there's patch notes or something you can check out. But not much has changed. But yeah, I don't know. There's not that's about it. I feel like I wanted this video to be shorter, but I ended up just ranting too much. But that's that. I hope you guys enjoyed. Sorry if this was too lengthy. Let me know first of all. If you've made it this far, if you did the I already forgot what it was called, the missions. Did you do the Nullifier mission? Did you do the Razorback mission? And what did you think of the Ambulance mission? I'm really interested. I don't know how I wasn't a big fan of pretty much any of them. I did like the Nullifier one actually, but the other ones, man, I didn't care much for them. The Ambulance was cool because of the remake, but the grind was annoying. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you like the new Oberon. Maybe you'll see some more of it. I don't know. I like it, but you know, it's more team based, so I'll probably for my solo stuff run other stuff. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Until next time, guys. Blow.